got up 14-0 on the best offense since the greatest show on turf, statistically. And then 24 hours later, they've switched over play calling duties. They lost by $1 billion. Like the sway was aggressive.
They have not scored an offensive touchdown since being up 14-0.
And they gave up 42.
Yeah. Hey, pick six though. Hey,
there you go, Troy Hill
against the backup quarterback.
Hey, Troy Hill. You don't have to say it's Mike White. You can pretend it was Tua.
No, I just said backup quarterback.
The Panthers are trying something new. You can't fault that. Their offense has been screaming, this ain't working. So they're trying something new. Frank Reich turning over play calling duties to Thomas Brown, their offensive coordinator. Something needs to change, and they're trying. Here's Frank Reich on handing over the play calling duties.
It's always been part of the plan, something Thomas and I have discussed from the time that he was hired. I'm excited for this for Thomas. I'm excited for our team and our offense. Thomas is a stud. He's a great leader. He's a brilliant offensive mind. We all have a lot of confidence in him. And, sometimes, and I think the timing is right. This has been something, even from the beginning, that I've talked through with Mr. Tepper and Scott from the beginning of the season. We thought that this bye week was going to be a checkpoint. And really been thinking hard about it the last couple of weeks and kind of knew it was leaning this way. But here we are, and I'm excited to turn that over to Thomas and know he's going to do a great job for our team.
Always part of the plan? Maybe. Not like this, though. They weren't planning on being 0-6, and they weren't planning on being forced. And I think maybe after this upcoming year, right? After we had a very successful year, we had the offseason to turn it over. The plan was always to get it to them eventually.
That was something he did say in the offseason.
I agree. And they were having him call the second half of games in the preseason. Mm-hmm. To me, this you're not technically lying, but you're not telling the whole truth.
Yeah.
It was always the plan to have Thomas Brown take over. It was always the plan. And it's like, yeah, you're right. It was always the plan. But what you're leaving out is you were hoping to pass it across Steve Young got it from Joe Montana, right? Like, hey, this is going so great. Now you can go do so great. From Manning to Luck, from Favre to Rodgers. Instead, it was a benching. It wasn't like I'm going to retire and sail off into the sunset and you're going to take over in my stead. It was, I'm doing really bad. We have to change something. Anything. How about you give it a go? It's like when someone's trying to open a jar, right? You never pass it to someone else when you think you're actually going to get it. You pass it to someone else when you're like, here, you try. I can't get it. That's this pass. Here, you try. I can't get it. They need to take more chances. They need to push it downfield. And I firmly believe that Thomas Brown will take more chances and will push it downfield. He comes from the Sean McVay coaching tree, and Sean McVay has found a way with Jared Goff, Matt Stafford, a whole bunch of different styles to get it downfield.
For those who don't know, Sean McVay, the head coach of the LA Rams.
Exactly. So I'm confident Thomas Brown will take more chances. I'm not confident on how they will execute those chances. You can change the play calling, can't change the players when you switch up your play caller. But I'll tell you the thing I want most. The thing I want most, and it feels like a change of play caller, bye week, it's a good time to do it, is I want Bryce Young's input into what plays they're calling and how they call them, and basically the playbook and play calling in general. This is where Bryce Young and Thomas Brown can get together and say, how do we want to do things? I'm seeing, Thomas Brown will get to call the offense for Bryce Young. I hope it's Thomas Brown gets to call the offense with Bryce Young. Here's Frank Reich on the chance of those two guys, Thomas Brown, Bryce Young, to grow together.
And the guys love and respect Thomas, so I know they'll play hard for him. It'll be good, and it'll be good. It's a great opportunity working with a young quarterback like Bryce for Thomas and Bryce to kind of take this step together. That's a big deal. Getting the coordinator and the play caller and the quarterback all on the same page. And really, this is a journey together that you develop a bond and a closeness that's really important in the process.
You want that connection to be, for lack of a better term, like a brother, right? You want Sean Payton and Drew Brees speaking a language that only they get. That's what you want. I'll just comment on a few things I've seen from Bryce Young. Bryce Young does not want to check to the wide receiver screen against the blitz. He's done it a billion times through his first 5 games. He doesn't want to do it. You can tell by his body language. As he's making the check, his body language is like, God. Then after he makes the throw, he looks to the sideline like, please, anything but that. He doesn't want to do it. There are other ways to beat the blitz. He doesn't trust anyone but Thielen. Why not? Figure it out. Talk to him. I was talking with somebody who watched the game, and their interaction was, and it's someone I trust in football, their observation was they hustled to the line. They had a 3 wide receiver set, so 3 wide receivers to the same side. They all ran essentially 10-yard stops, like 10-yard hitches. And this person observed that they thought the other 2 wide receivers were more open. Like if you just did your read and threw it to the most open, it would be the other 2. Instead, he pounded it to Adam Thielen, and it had to be a more accurate ball and a tougher catch, but it was completed. That's not a bad decision. It's a completed ball, right? That's pass, fail, you pass.
It worked.
But as a play caller, I want to go, all right, what was wrong with the more open guy, right? Like, let's make this as easy as possible. You need Bryce Young in the room. And lastly, most importantly, out of this decision to go from being up 14-0 to down 42-21 to changing your play caller in the bye week, it is a message sent. Frank Reich just benched himself. Do you think your job is safe? If Frank Reich just benched himself, right? The part of the reason he got hired is because he's this offensive mind that can work with quarterbacks, and he just benched himself from being the play caller. Starting running back jobs. You think it's safe, Miles Sanders? You think Hubbard's coming for it? Offensive line. You think anyone's job is safe? They just benched the head coach. Just benched the head coach. The hierarchy of wide receiver. Everything should be up for evaluation now outside of probably Bryce Young. That's about it. Everybody else, I don't care if we traded up to draft you, DJ Johnson. If you're not getting it done, we're going to put someone else in there. Sam Franklin, playing lights out. I really like what Sam Franklin is doing at safety. If they have to find a way to keep him on the field regardless of who gets healthy or not, yeah. No job is safe right now. None. Panthers are making a move, and I appreciate that. You have no reason to just continue stinking, right? Because some teams, other teams, if they stink, if they're bad, a lot of times it's in their best interest to continue down that path because then you go from picking 5th, 6th, 7th to 1st, 2nd, 3rd in the draft. The Panthers don't have that. They should be making moves, trying to get better all the way up until the final buzzer, the final whistle on the final game at the end of the year. And giving up 42 essentially unanswered points. Granted, the defense did have the pick 6, as we mentioned. Giving up 42 essentially unanswered points, if that's not a catalyst to make big changes, I don't know what is. You're up 14-0. It was fun. It was a good time. Those first, 5 minutes of the game, watch the heck out. From that point forward, less fun.
A lot less fun.
Less fun. So work on being more fun.